Hallo Leute, welcome back to my channel Deutsch Flix. We'll go from to
Ach so.
in just one episode. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about Ordinalzahlen, which means ordinal numbers. So if someone asks you your birthday, for example, my birthday is on 21st of December. Now we're gonna look at how do we say 21st in German, or if someone asks you which floor do you work on. In my case, I work on 14th floor. So 14th, the number 14th is an ordinal number. Sind Sie bereit? Are you ready? Los geht's. Alright, so before we go ahead and discuss the ordinal numbers one by one, we're gonna look at how do we represent an ordinal number in German. For example, in English, if I were to write first, I'll write like this: 1 and then at the above st. Or for number second, I'll write 2 and nd above the number. But in German, this is super easy. All you have to do is just write the number, and after the number, you just have to mention a dot. Now, this dot will represent or will tell you that is not a normal number, but rather an ordinal number. Now, I will divide the ordinal numbers into two main categories. So, in the first category, we are gonna look at numbers till 19th. So, I'll write here 1 till 19th, and then we're gonna look at numbers above 19, so which will start from 20 and it will go till infinite. And in the third column, we are gonna look at Ausnahmen, exceptions. So while discussing normal numbers, cardinal numbers, we saw, okay, number 16 and 17 are exception. Instead of saying 16 or 17, we say 16, 17. Similarly, we have exceptions here as well. And trust me, ordinal numbers are easy peasy if you know cardinal numbers. Let's discuss numbers from 1 till 19. So they follow this rule. You have to write the number. You have to end it with T. And after that, there will be some ending. So I'll write few numbers. Let's take 2nd, 5th, 10th, 18th and 19th. So number 2 is called zwei in German. So I'll write zwei. Then I'll end it with T. And then there will be some ending. Now ending can be either E or EN. You'll take E if it is nominative case, and ending en you will take when there is dative case. These are the two popular endings, E or en. And on this page, I will take nominative case E as an ending. So it becomes zweite. Now number 5th will be, all I have to do is I'll write the number 5, then I'll end it with T and ending E. So it becomes fünfte. Now Sie sind dran. It's your turn now. You have to write for number 10th, 18th and 19th. I'll show my answers in 5 seconds. Alright, so number 10th will be called zehnte, 18th, 18. and 19th, neunzehnte. Now coming to numbers above 19, so starting from 20, they follow this rule. So you have to again take the number, but this time instead of t you have to add st, and then there will be some ending. Again, ending will be e or en. On this page, let's take only e for now. So if someone asks you, let's say, what is fifth, simply say fünfte. Don't say fünften. I'll tell you when do we have to use this en as an ending. Okay, so let's take 20 as an example. 20th. So what is number 20? It is called 20. And then we have to add st. After that comes the ending. And the pronunciation is 20ste. Now I'll give you some numbers and you have to write down its ordinal number. We'll discuss the answers in 5 seconds. Alright, so I've written the numbers. I'll end it with st first, and then the ending that we will choose will be nominative one, e. So it becomes 22. 45. 63. 91. So this is the formula that we have to use for numbers above 19. Now let's discuss the exceptions. There are only 4 ordinal numbers. For example, first, third, 7th, and 8th. Now what is exception here? Ideally, first should be that I'll take eins. Now since the number is below 20, I will end it with t and then at the end e. Eins-te. Or maybe if ending is en, then einsten. But it is erste. Now number third should ideally be dritte, but it is dritte. And for 7th, you can make a wild guess. Instead of saying siebte, we say siebte. And for number 8, we will take the number as it is, but we will just write the ending e. So there is no double t here. That is not required. So we simply say achte. Now we will discuss some examples. So if you were to tell date, today's date in German, how will you say that? So for that you will say heute, which means today. Heute ist der, and today's date. For example, in my case, 9th of January. So what is 9th? Since number 9 is below 19 or 20, I just have to take the number 9, end it with t, and then e or en is the question. I'll go with e now. Heute ist der 9. and January is called Januar. Now the question is, why have I not chosen en? Reason being, we have the verb sein, and sein is strictly nominative verb. It is strictly nominative. Also, we can see we have the article der, so there is nominative masculine. How do we know this is masculine, this 9th of January? Because all the months in German, they are masculine in nature. So heute ist der 9. Januar. Now what if someone asks us, wann haben Sie Geburtstag? Wann haben Sie Geburtstag? Tag means day. Geburt means birth. So Geburtstag means birthday. Wann haben Sie Geburtstag means when do you have birthday. So we will answer this by saying Ich habe Geburtstag. I have birthday. Ich habe Geburtstag. Now with days we have to use the preposition called am. Now my birthday is 21st of December. 21st, I'll say 21. And then I'll end it with st. Finally, we'll choose the ending. Now I will go with en. 21. December. Now the question is, why have I chosen dative ending here? Reason being, this word it consists of two words. Firstly, the preposition an. So with days we use the preposition called am. So am is nothing but an plus dame, and dame is dative case here. Since we know, okay, this is dative case, we have to choose the ending en. So it becomes Ich habe Geburtstag am 21. Dezember. For now, maybe you can learn by heart what is this am, when do we use it. So we have to use it with days. For example, if you want to say on Monday, Tuesday, or on 1st of January, on 2nd of December, you have to use this preposition am, and this has to come in dative case. For now, you can learn by heart. But we are eventually gonna learn these prepositions in a separate video, so you have to wait for that. Now the interesting part is there is another way of mentioning this birthday or today's date. What we can do is, January is which month according to the calendar? Is it 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th? Which month is this? This is 1st, right? So what we can also do is, we can say neunte, and 1st is called Erste, which is exception. But this time you cannot write E as small, we have to write this capital, because this is referring a month which is noun. You can see J is capital, it's a noun. So I'll erase this and write E as capital and say Erste. So heute ist der 9. Erste. Similarly, December is 12th month, right? According to the calendar. Now what is number 12th? It will be 12. So I'll write Z as capital, 12, and then T, and then En. So here we have given nominative ending. Similarly, here as well you have to give nominative ending. Here we have given dative ending. Similarly, here as well you have to give dative ending. Now I'll give you some dates and you have to show me both the possibility. Firstly, you have to write the month and then which month is this according to the calendar. So we'll discuss the answers in 5 seconds. You can pause the video. So first up we have on 7th of September. So 7th is exception. We'll say am siebten instead of siebenten. And 9th will be September. Order we can say neunten. N has to be capital. So dative case, I mean en ending because of the preposition am. Then we have on 10th of, this is what, August. So we'll say am 8. is also exception, single T, and then August. This is what, 8th month. So we'll say 8. Then we have 1st of December. Am Ersten, which is exception, 12. oder Dezember. And then 21st of July. So am 21. Juli oder siebten. I'll also mention other months. So we have Januar, then Februar, March is called März, April is called April, May is called Mai, June, Juni, July, Juli, August, August, dann September und dann Oktober, dann November und dann am Ende, at the end, December. So I've written all the months on this page. Okay, so in my profession, I have to speak with German natives, and trust me, if they were to mention date to me, most of the time it happens that they use this possibility. Instead of saying am 7. September, they say am 7.9. Because according to them, that is the easiest way of telling date. So I'll go to previous page to do a quick recap. So I have divided ordinal numbers into two main categories: numbers till 19, numbers above 19, so starting from 20, and then we have some exceptions. So you have to know what is that number called, then T, and then ending. It could be either E or EN. Now numbers above 19, instead of T we have ST, and these are the exceptions which you really have to just learn by heart. Now, if you're thinking, okay, we have discussed nominative as E and then dative EN, what about accusative case? In accusative case, what will be the ending? So this entire thing, these ordinal numbers are also part of adjective endings, which is discussed at A2 level and B1 level. So we can maybe circle back to this topic to discuss more endings. So for now, if someone asks you what is 10th called in German, you can simply say 10. or 45th, 45. But while telling birthday, you have to use the ending en. Und das ist alles für heute. That's it for today. Now you can let me know your birthday in the comment section. So remember, the question that we ask is, wann haben Sie Geburtstag? Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.
Like and subscribe.